Hello guys. I hope y'all having an awesome Monday. So here I be recycling everything I get my hands on, okay? So if you don't have pattern paper, I recycle everything. So I be getting these from the United States Postal, this paper, and I ship packages in it, but it's a really nice, durable paper. So I take the paper and I cut down the ends, and I did about 4 of these. So what this is gonna be, so normally when I make my pattern pieces, it'd be like the corset, then it'd be the skirt. So let me try to see if I'm gonna pronounce it right. So they talk about different A-line dresses and stuff like that, different dresses. So what this particular dress is, instead of me doing it where I would have the sweetheart, then I connect the skirt, it's cut all the way from the princess seam all the way down. So it's cut in panels. So this is 1 panel. This is 2 panel. This is 3 panel. This is 4 panels, okay? For the pattern that I'm making, okay? So right here where I got this line, this red line, if you want some lace and have a yoke, I just would take this and fold this over, and it'll give me right here down the front of this dress. You'll have that sheer, like you'll see some of the dresses will have that yoke. They'll have it going down. Well, I'm sorry, I just call it lace. I'm sorry, I be listening to a lot of African design. They'll call it a yoke. So meaning like this. See this lace going down the middle of here, like it's some lace right there. So if this is on, you can kind of see through it. It's a piece of lace. So that would be the same thing with this if you wanted it that way. So that's why I didn't necessarily cut it off, because every time you might not want that. I just fold it. So as a reminder, if I want to do that, I can take this measurement and be, okay, this is the lace, and I will put this piece on the fold and cut it and open it up and sew it down each side. So when you're sewing this, you always give yourself your 1-inch seam allowance, 1-inch seam allowance, 1-inch seam allowance, and then I number my patterns. So I like to have a pretty good coverage. So like y'all see the blue when I try it on. So if you want less coverage, then you go less, and it'll be more boobs out. But if you want more boob coverage, then you trace up higher so you can get more coverage than having more cleavage. So if you want it like this, then bring that line down and you'll get more boobs out. I like to bring it up to be more coverage than, you know, less with I don't know, sometimes, you know, when it be like that and you wearing these dresses, to me it kind of be looking like, if you big boob, like Jerry Springer boobs, like your boobs about to fall out. So I always go up high to give me more hey babe, come to give me more coverage. So with me doing these dresses, what I realized, the problem that I kept having, when I get to the point of the back of the dress, I always never was giving myself enough room. So even though the seam allowance, so as we know, I lost weight. So now this pattern, every time I'm putting it on, even when I made that little what's next, if y'all can see how much weight I lost. See this dress? Sit down for 1 second, Gino. I'm gonna pick you back up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I lost a lot of weight. So if you see, y'all see this dress, how much fabric is over here. This dress used to fit me, and it's supposed to fit, you know, kind of like that, but it does not fit like that no more because of the weight that I lost. Okay, you can come back. So I have to remember to decrease on this pattern. So on here, what I'll do, not on the first seam. So here, to decrease that, because you see how much weight I lost. So what I'll do is I'm gonna take out the seam allowance here, and then on the side, I'm gonna take out the seam allowance, because we need to decrease it because I lost weight. I'm smaller now than what I was. My waist was 30 inches. My waist is 27 inches. You see this? My breast was 39 inches. Now it's 36. Yeah, so all my clothes now is too big. So now what I'm doing to decrease that, instead of putting the seam allowance in here, I'm gonna put it there, you know, just in case for this seam or whatever. But I'm going to take it out here and I'm going to take it out here to decrease that. So I'm not going to put a seam allowance in there when I cut the pattern out. But when I get back here, because my patterns always keep falling short, I'm going to put the seam allowance back in. Because what happens is that your hips and butt be one way when you're standing up. But so if you stand up, you one way, right? But then when you see that when you sit, you get wider. So that's the problem that I kept having. Is like I make my patterns and stuff, and I'm new to making formal wear. A lot of stuff y'all always see me make was spandex, and stuff like that. I was not making formal wear. So if you see some designer would specialize in wedding dress, formal, special occasion, and then you will hear them say, I don't make casual or club wear. They don't make that. So a lot of times they don't specialize in it. So I was the opposite. I never made this kind of stuff because to be honest, I was always afraid of getting it wrong, it not fitting. Spandex is always your best friend. You put on some spandex, you're good. But when you're sewing fabric that's non-spandex, you have to put in darts, you have to put in seam allowance, you have to put in breast darts to curve around the breast. So you have to be able to do all that in order for that dress to fit you. So to be honest, I stayed away from a lot of that. So what I'm noticing that when I made patterns and stuff, I always kept having a problem where the dresses don't fit. The dresses don't fit. The dresses don't fit in the back. That always, even adding the seam allowance, but I wasn't giving myself enough zipper allowance also. So when I would make the dress, and y'all seen I did that curtain dress, I couldn't fit it. And I added another panel, and then I still couldn't fit it. So it was looking wonky, looking funny. So what I do, this is right here. This is my back seam, this blue line, right? That's the blue line. So in your pattern, you always give yourself that 1/2 inch seam allowance when you sewing it together. So anytime you cut something, it gets smaller. So you do that 1/2 inch seam allowance, right? So that'll give it right there with the 1/2 inch seam allowance, right? So what I've been doing is giving myself on each piece, because when you put that zipper in, right, this raw edge, you're gonna have to fold this in. That raw edge is gonna have to get folded in, right? That raw edge is gonna have to get folded in. And you still need that ease when you sit down. So on my back panels, I increase them, especially this last one. So instead of giving me just that 1 inch seam allowance on each back piece, which is this piece, so that I'm not falling short. And I noticed too, when I watch them do wedding dresses, they always have way more fabric. Like they'll make a wedding dress and have that wedding dress open, and they probably have on each side 5 inches, I'm sorry, on each side, which is way too big for the bride. But I think they do that and they leave that. So when the bride get there, if they making a dress and the bride gain weight or whatever, they have enough room. They don't cut it exactly at her size, because remember, this fabric is not going to expand. But in a lot of the dresses, we're putting corset backs. So we have the wiggle room with the back of the dress because we're using a corset. So you see that we can make this, and we lose or gain weight, we can tighten this up or we can decrease it. So that's why we be putting the corset back. But when you get to the zipper allowance, you got to have that. So now that's what I am learning to do, is to add that zipper allowance and add more into it. So when it ease, and even here with the buttocks, so when I go to sit down, you know what I mean, I have that wiggle room where your butt expands and it eases. So when you're making these dresses, give yourself, especially toward the back, more, but definitely with the waistline, you want to have that stuff on point, because if you don't, that's why you have this. So when y'all saw me make that army print bra cup one, I forgot to decrease those. So what I did now, so that I don't be making the mistakes with the pattern, I went in my pattern and I took out the seam allowance on the side seam and front seam. So now it's making it smaller. I took it out because remember, I lost weight. So I took it out because it's too big. And then when you make it and then you put it on, you'll have this flux. So if you notice, when I tried on the blue one, that I did in the video, I took the seam allowance out. So then when I added up, then also when you put the loops, and these loops is gonna make it a little bit wider too when you have the loops. So if nobody is pulling that, you know, for you, you know, you have that flux too. So when you have somebody to put it on you and you hold your boobs to where you want them to be, not sagging like this, then somebody pull you in, you will get a really good tight snug. You want your corset and your clothes to fit you, you know what I mean, like this. So this dress, I'm just going to use it as a lounge dress. I decided I'm probably not even going to fix it. I'm just going to leave it. It's too big, and you know, I'm always in these dresses. So that's what I'm working on. That's something I learned that I was having issues with, is when I'm doing my dresses, they kept falling short. You know what I mean? Like not able to fit. Remember, if you want more boobs out, then you would decrease this. You'll cut and take away this. If you want less boobs out, you bring it. That's why I take mine and bring it up higher, so that when I have it on, I don't be having that like it's about to fall out. So then you can make your back line of, you know, some people like they corset tops to have that. Let's show you. Let's see. So if you want your corset back to kind of do this. If you wanted to do that, like some people don't like their back to be right. You want to get down, babe? Hold on. Do you want to get down? Okay. Some people don't like their back to be just right across. So if you want your back to have that slant, you get what I'm saying? So if you want your back to be like that, your corset back to be a V shape versus square box, then you cut your back piece and you'll give it that, you know what I mean, that V shape. So that you can have it like a V shape versus a square box like this. If you don't want that. So that's all you would do. You would angle it. So I'm learning. I don't have fabric yet to do this particular dress. So, but in order for me to be good at this type of stuff, you have to get in a mix, and you have to train yourself. You got to make it. You got to do it. So with this, it'll be like one of those nice A-line wedding dresses. And then if I will put the bottom circle skirt on it and expand it, and then the train will be wider. So that's what I'm working on. That's the stuff I'm learning. And like, for instance, the weight that I lost, when I do finish this wedding dress, I already know the size is going to buckle on here, because remember, I'm not this size no more. But because this fabric have all those crystals and stones and stuff, I cut the bottom off because I'm going to recycle and use the top base of this dress. But I'm not going to bother with trying to make this small enough to fit my waist. So when I do revisit that and put it on, we is going to have some whatever here. And then this, just like I said, all these dresses and this stuff that I'm doing, when I enter into fashion shows again, then I'll be able to put a lot of my stuff on the runway. So y'all wonder, you making all this stuff, where it's like I'm making this, and then eventually when I do either join into a fashion show or either do my own, you know, and put it together and just put different models on and stuff like that. And so I'm not going to do all this and take it loose, and I just revisit this dress at a later time and make it where it will fit correctly. So keep in mind, I've lost a lot of weight. My waist was 30 inches. My waist is smaller now, so the gathering, you will have that access here. Like, I don't know, when y'all might don't notice it, but when I put it on, like, I was able to see it right away in that one corset, because it's like your waist is smaller. So when you got that corset on, this be the corset thing was percolating because it was too much fabric. But if y'all will see with that blue one, when I decreased it, it fit me like how the women say they want to be snatched. So I hope that this help you guys, so you don't got pattern paper and all that. I recycle Amazon paper bags. If I'm gonna make purses, I recycle the Amazon boxes because I use the bottom to make the purse. Remember how we talked about purses? So a lot of this stuff, cut it, set it to the side, put it in your garage, and you can recycle and utilize a lot of the newspaper. I use newspapers and stuff like that. So I do a lot of recycling to, hey, if I don't got this, I'm using this, that, and that. So yeah, that's what's going on. So with that being said, I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. I hope that this tip helped you, because when I started making formal wear, I was having a lot of problems with my clothes fitting. Oh, and I did my waistline. I did my waistline here because I'm going to watch some more videos, okay? Now, a lot of times I would see them, they will only put the interfacing up at the top part to give this, and I'm going to watch again because this lady make wedding dresses. Some people put the interfacing throughout the whole dress. The base, I'm not for sure on that, so don't quote me on that 100%. I'm gonna go back and watch because I kind of got off the wedding dress series, but there's one lady I used to watch. I definitely know the interfacing goes up here, and the boning, they don't take it all the way down. So I hope that these tips is helping you. Don't be afraid. Just practice, practice, practice. Give yourself, don't ever be afraid to cut your fabric too big, especially when you're doing formal wear with stiff fabric that does not expand. Too big is good. Too small is bad. So always, always, always give yourself that wiggle room and kind of remember to do that. But yeah, that's the problem that I kept having. So when I get back here, I kept having that problem. So with this pattern, as you can see, this is the back seam. So all this is access fabric that's gonna give me the wiggle room that I need. See all this? Yes, it's not my exact size, because that's the problem. Every time I was doing this, I couldn't fit it. I couldn't fit it. I couldn't fit it. I'm like, dang. And I'm buying some fabric that can cost you $40 a yard, and you keep making mistakes. So give yourself that more room. So this is additional, and that's on each side. So when you make your pattern pieces, you don't got to do two sides. If you cloning from your mannequin that you draping off of, you make one side and then you cut two, you know. And when you're cutting it out, you cut two for this, two for this, two for this, two for this, and then it'll be universal. Like one side go over here, the other side go over there. So I hope that helped you. It's definitely helped me, because that's why I kept falling short, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? And everything I learned offline. So I hope that this is helping you guys, because I'm learning, and as I'm learning, I'm telling y'all my problems and the stuff that I'm having. So anybody else that's new into sewing, just give yourself time. Take your time. Too big is good. Too small is, you know. So I started out doing spandex, and I went from spandex to, shoot, how many years later I was scared to touch this. So this, now I've been working on formal wear for the past, I'll say 3 years, and now I'm going into that. But now I'm finally giving my undivided attention to it. So that's why y'all will see me keep advancing and doing this, because once I get the blueprint and I can do it for myself and try it on and show y'all that I can perfect it, then later on I can take it and I can do it for customers, because all I'm gonna do is, you know, add their measurements, not my measurements. So that's the one thing too. So if you're making stuff and you're making it for yourself or whatever, so when you're making it for your customer, my customer smaller than you, bigger than you, everybody different sizes, so you just will decrease or increase to these patterns that you're making. So if you got a customer that's, you know, so if I'm 39 or whatever, so you'll just do the same and decrease on those pieces, you know. And remember, when we doing the bra, they got really big boobs, have them to send me your bra. I'm not gonna cut your bra and do the tape matches to get the bra cups and to get the sweetheart. Would it be perfect? Ask them to send a bra if they're not in your state, or bring a bra. I'm not gonna cut your bra, and you'll put their bra on that dressmaking man, and you'll clone and make it where you'll guarantee their boobs will fit in there, because you're using their authentic bra, not guessing on their boob size and all that. So I hope that these tips help you, because they definitely help me to get better. Thanks for watching. Toodles.